This is the last assessment video in this career coaching training program. This video covers the results of your personality assessment. This assessment may also be called talent. The purpose of this video is to help you understand the components of your personality assessment report. After completing this video, you'll understand the scales and indices results in the personality assessment report. You'll learn how to read your own personality assessment report, and you'll understand what you can do with your personality assessment results. The personality assessment can be a helpful assist to you in a new job or occupation. Keep in mind that this personality assessment only relates to work. As we discussed in the FIT video, the most important single element of your success and satisfaction with a job is to match your personal interests with the interests needed in that job. Personality is only a secondary aspect of success in a job. In fact, most of our personalities are formed by the time we are 7 years old. Generally, it's not possible to alter our personality once we're an adult. The personality assessment measures characteristics that are important for success at work. The diagram shows that personality influences your tendencies to behave in certain ways on a job. While we cannot generally change our personalities as adults, we can determine which personality characteristics are important for different occupations. Next, we look at our scores in these personality areas, determine any scores that are low, and then develop what are called compensating behaviors to help us perform at a higher level in the job. The personality worksheet in this video covers the basic elements. There is a more in-depth optional personality workbook and guide that you can choose to use, but it's not necessary for this part of your training. This in-depth guide is included in the Career Coaching Portal, and you're welcome to refer to this exercise and complete it if you believe it will be helpful to you in your next job. Let's take a look at the scales that you find in your own personality assessment. You can find this at the bottom of page 1 of your report. All the scales in this are reported as percentile scores that range from 1st to 99th percentiles. The higher the number score, the greater your strength. For example, if you receive a percentile score of 50, it means 50% of the people taking the assessment receive scores that are the same or lower than your score. The scales included are carefulness, cooperation, creativity, discipline, goodwill, influence, optimism, order, savvy, sociability, stability, and striving. These are all personality factors that have been found to be important to different degrees at work. For example, if a job we're considering requires a high level of discipline and our score is in the medium range, we can develop compensating skills around time management and tracking assignments that will help us increase our general level of discipline in a job. Look at the short definitions or descriptions of these scale scores, then review your high, medium, and low scales. When researching a job, particularly in information interviews and job shadowing, be sure to learn and understand which of these personality scales are most critical to success in the job. Use this information to help determine if the job you're researching is a good match for you. While most of us will always have some lower personality scores, it's probably desirable to select a job or occupation where we already have several high scores on personality scales important to a job. If you don't have any of these personality scales as strengths, then it's possible that the job you're considering might not be the best match for you, even if it ranks high on your interest scales. The second part of the personality assessment report covers 4 scores called indices. These indices are actually combinations of 2 or more of the scale scores. This creates a more complex description of work personality traits that might be important in certain jobs. There are 4 work personality indices: teamwork, work discipline, managerial potential, and customer service orientation. Carefully review the descriptions of these indices in the Personality Key Points Review. Inventory how your scores compare with what you've learned researching the occupation. Again, higher scores on your assessment identify where you may have behavioral strengths. Lower scores identify areas where you may have behavioral challenges. For example, if a job you're considering requires a higher level of customer service orientation and you have lower industry scores in this area, You might want to further investigate to determine if you'd be happy doing this job and meeting the essential job requirements. There are several other helpful features in your personality assessment report. The second section highlights your percentile score on each of the 4 personality indices. It also provides a more in-depth description of how your scores relate to work. The remaining pages of your assessment list each of your 10 scale scores. Your scores are represented in 3 ways. Individual strengths are described and listed in green. Areas to continue to cultivate are listed in yellow, and areas to construct plans for individual improvement are listed in red. Now for some tips. You can use your personality assessment results in your information interviews and job shadowing to learn how your working personality profile matches to a particular occupation. As you review your results, keep notes on your thoughts. This is often a good subject to discuss with a live career coach or mentor. You can use an abbreviated version of the personality assessment results, which you can find in this portal. There are 2 sections to the abbreviated personality assessment exercise in the portal. The first can be found in this portal in Session 4 under Work Keys Personality Behavioral Competencies Chart. This chart summarizes in greater detail all the scale scores from the personality assessment. The second exercise can be found in the portal in Session 4 under the Talent Development Chart. This is a fill-in-the-blank chart that allows you to take more detailed notes on each of your scale scores, then print out your work for use in your research. For more information about an in-depth analysis on building compensating behaviors, see the detailed Making the Most of Your Work Keys Personality Assessment Results document found in this training portal. If you have questions or concerns at this point in your research, see your career coach or a mentor to thoroughly explore your options. Now you have the basic information about the personality assessment and how to interpret your scores. You also know how to research how well your personality matches to a specific job and how to go about developing some compensating skills if necessary.